Ain't no half stepping with Marcus J. Live from the Den. Legacy Internet Radio. Thank you, thank you, thank you to everybody that's rocking with us, that's been rocking with us tonight. We've had an outstanding show so far. We appreciate the folks that have been rocking with us as we have gotten through the show tonight. Very, very, very special thank you to our brother, K-Dub, who led us in the inaugural version of his segment, Real Talk. K-Dub speaking with our sister actress and author and founder of Uprising Stars, Inc., our sister Danielle Monet Worth. Outstanding interview, K-Dub. You did an outstanding job. We appreciate you, brother. Look forward to more and more and more from you. But we're going to move on. At this time of the show, we want to move on to our next segment. But before we do that, we need to make sure that everybody in the room is properly introduced and represented. And, of course, she slipped in quietly during the last segment. All quiet and stuff, but we're going to put her on a spot. She joins us every chance we have an opportunity to see her. So we'll call her or she'll call us, and she'll come in and be a part of her family here in the Den of Legacy and Net Radio. Our sister D. What up, D?
What's up, y'all?
How you are doing today?
I'm great. Why are you talking so slow today?
I don't know, man.
Is it your jam?
It's just maybe it might be the
have
reggae.
A spiritual moment.
Yeah, I just shared something in the break and whatnot. Hey, look, man, it's the reggae night. You know, we celebrating him, His Imperial Majesty Haile Selassie I. So all the music tonight is gonna be, you know, with regards to that, man. Of course, he is the spiritual advisor of Bob Marley, and Bob Marley is the spiritual advisor of yours truly. So you saw me in the break. I was in my zone. So that might be why I'm speaking. You know what I'm saying? It ain't because I'm trying to be sexy, because that's natural, dog. Yeah. My Tommy laugh.
When you introduce Didi, you gotta put on the ZZ Top song. She's got legs.
Is he gonna get in trouble for that?
I don't think he cares. I don't think he cares.
No, he's not going to get in trouble.
That's ZZ Top.
I don't know.
I know my white boy music.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Ain't no hashtag with Marcus J. Live from the Den, Legacy Internet Radio. Well, it is that time of the show. That is this time of the month. It is time for my sister, the dating pool diva, to jump in. It's time for the Diva Diaries.
Hey.
It's time for
my
you
music?
to make sure that you lead us in your segment, my sister. You are a diva.
Turn me up.
You should be already turned up.
I can't hear it.
He never does it.
I can't, because if I do, I'll get a whole bunch of interference. But I mean, you would think after all of these months that she would.
I still want to hear my music. I don't care about interference.
She just pulled a Rick Rude, say play my music.
Everybody has to have theme music, okay? And that's my theme music.
Okay, all right, well, then there you go. I mean, but you know what, though? Your brother plays it for you every month.
Yes, you do. Yes, you do. You're on time. I might come up with some new theme music. I might have to do that. You're going to have to help me with that.
All right, well, you know, I'm here for you.
Yeah, it's time for change. I've had that for a long time.
Changes.
It's time for change.
Yeah, sometimes they say change is good, but
change is good.
Sometimes change is some more bullshit. But all right, I got you. Ain't no hashtag with Marcus J.
Okay.
Live from the Den.
Okay, I
Legacy
caught that.
Internet Radio, dating pool diva. The con is yours, as they say on Star Trek. What you got?
Okay, well, I have several topics to discuss tonight. The hot topic that I found for us to discuss, a coworker helped me come up with this particular topic. Can having an open relationship enhance a marriage or long-term relationship? If so, explain how you would make it work. What if your partner wants their opposite sex partner to join in? So let's start with the first question was, can an open relationship enhance a relationship?
I'm going to take that first.
Speaking?
All right, I'll take it first. It can work, but it takes two people that's on the same level. And I to dig a little bit deeper. there has to be an unbridled trust between the two people in order to have a open, I'm assuming open meaning you can see or have the option to see other people. So it takes a whole bunch of trust, a whole bunch of leeway, and a whole bunch of unselfishness.
Okay.
You know, to be able to share somebody that you married to death, to God call you home to glory. You know, so because I mean that situation can go left. A lot of people, like my grandma say, your eyes bigger than your stomach. A lot of people think that they can pull that off, but then when they get into it, it ain't as easy. You know, so you got to kind of dot your I's and cross your T's with the person that you settling down with to approach that. But I mean, it could be done. You know.
Do you think it would work over a long period of time or temporary?
It could be both. I think. I think if you keeping the extra with a person and you bringing that third wheel along, you could let them know. I mean, you could give them the Kobe contract. You could say, look, this is just for the night, baby. After this, you got to go. And if they down, then it's there. But then you have, and trust me, I don't personally know, but I mean, the institution of marriage has evolved over the years, especially in this country and other cultures. So, I mean, there's been times where other people have come into. I mean, I don't want to use the Mormon situation, you know, but it can work. You know, it could be long term too. And sometimes I've seen. Well, I forgot what it was. What are you calling people that help birth babies? The midwife.
Oh, yeah.
Where you think that? Where you think
doulas,
midwife come from? You know, there was. Oh, mistress. The word mistress comes from an old English word, which is.
You've been studying on this.
Come on, y'all
I didn't know
Grizzly,
that.
man. Come on. So, like, it comes from where the maiden or the
midwife, mistress.
the person the woman that wasn't the wife would come in and do things that the wife couldn't, because back in the Middle Ages, when a woman gave childbirth, she was almost.
She was on lockdown.
Yeah, she was on lockdown
months.
for like 2-3 years. You know, who gonna nurse the baby? Who gonna feed the baby? Who gonna get it up to the husband? So, you know, sometimes that's just how it be. So, I mean, it can be done. It's been done in human history. So, I'm not. Of course, I ain't opposed to it.
Oh, I didn't think so.
Nah,
Okay.
man. But you got to be strong-willed. You know, it goes both ways. Like, I'll just speak for me because I'm a guy. Like, you got to be able, because people probably listening and thinking like, I'm thinking like a man, me being a guy and me bringing in another woman into a marriage with me and my wife. But it could go the opposite way.
Yeah.
Your woman could be like, yo, you might not be hitting them walls right. I need to bring in Dexter St. Jock. And you got to be able to, swallow
And you're
your
going to be all
pride.
right with that.
And, you know, and cuckold your wife, you know. You got to be able to do that, just to be fair to the listeners on, you know, that's listening to the show. So I don't want it to make it seem, you know, one-sided, speaking from a guy perspective, but it can be done. I just think you have to be real comfortable in yourself. You have to be real self-aware, self-conscious, and real trusting. And, you know, and avoid the pitfalls, because I mean that's a pitfall waiting to happen if you ain't right all over.
Okay. Mr.
Dee,
Shower,
somebody?
back there, you had something to say?
Flip the switch, bro.
It's
There
okay.
you go.
There's so many different ways you can look at this. Now, some secrets in some homes they're not saying, but you think you've been with a person for 30-some years, and then as you get older, your body change and you get sick and you taking medications. Things aren't like it used to be. So sometimes that's when you really realize you with your partner that you really in love. And there is a lot of people out there who would look at their lady and say, look, I know I can't do the things I used to do because we did so much wild stuff as we grew up. I don't mind you going out and finding you somebody to spend some time with, because you still can do the same stuff that you can do when you were younger. But just give me some times. Maybe we can go dance. Maybe we can do some of those types. Still give me some type of nurturing that we used to have, because I'm still your husband. You understand what I'm saying? It goes both ways. I know some women that they can't do it anymore too, because of something that happened to them, and they let their husband go out and have a girlfriend. And it's because, the trust thing that happens in the room that a lot of us don't know about. You understand what I'm saying? Now, I'm gonna go this and I'm gonna get out the way. Something happened to me last week.
Word.
Where I'm a real charming guy when I'm at my store. I was raised a certain way, so if I see you come in, you have your nice hair, you have your nails done, you look nice, I'm gonna say, man, you look nice today. That's how I was raised. Sometimes that can backfire. So I'm chilling one day. This lovely lady that she was extremely older than I was. Just to say that. Walked up at me and she gave me a compliment, and I said, "How you doing?" And she said, "Well, baby, I got arthritis, this and that, blah blah blah, Johnsonitis, gingivitis." I was like, "Well, dang, well, this thing guy that you in the store, you know what I mean? I'm happy to see you." Next day she pops up, and I'm like, something said, "Boy, if you don't get your butt to the produce room and hurry up." So I hurry up and got there. She beat me. Long story short, she got a boot on her foot. So she got the hip hop, she's stepping a certain way. And I said, "Hey, how you doing today?" She said, "Hey, and she was extremely old. She said, "Hey, I was wondering if when you get done work or whatever, maybe you can come have a good old time with me."
Get that check, player. Get that Social
She was
Security.
with a dude. She was with her. She said, "Look, it's okay, cause my husband, he's right there. He's fine with it." Matter of fact, he said it kind of turned me on. I look at him. He gave me the side look and the wave.
No, he gave you a wave like that,
These
or he
are
gave you the
facts.
wave?
Hold on,
This is
wait.
last week.
I need to know the kind of wave.
Yeah,
you
that
gave.
wave was.
I need to see the wave.
Oh
yeah,
no, he
That's
ain't getting that.
That's not a good wave.
Not a good wave
That's
for
not a
you.
good wave at all, right? So for me, this is a very explicit story. Hopefully one day I could tell you in person, I could be way more explicit than I want to. But
No, this
my
is good.
brain had to think. Now, males, we think in 3 different places.
Word.
One place that's low, he went to sleep. I had no help from that. He was out. He said, nope, you ain't getting nothing from me. So my brain was nervous. So bottom line, I told her, "Ma'am, I can't do that right now." And she was like, "Well, my husband's cool with it because, we used to be like swingers." And I'm sitting here like, see, this is what comes when you the nice guy and you positive.
more nice.
It backfires. I'm being honest with you because I didn't want to hurt her feelings. But
What if she had that check for you though?
see, that's what I'm saying.
Well, she had that,
That was in the back of my mind. But you know what? Damn that. She was too old.
Right.
Ain't no way. I couldn't do that. I couldn't do that.
You would have been with the husband too, you know that, right?
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
That's why I asked about the wave.
The wave.
That's right. So look.
I think it was for the husband, really.
Long story short, I had to get out of the situation, and I was like, "Look, ma'am, I can't really do this. I'm on the clock."
You got catfish to your face.
Right? I said, ma'am, I can't do that. I'm on the clock. And then she just said, "Well, I don't care. I'm married." I said, "Well, I have somebody, and she really wouldn't approve." And she said, "Oh, I understand. Well, can you do me a favor?" I said, "What do you want me to do, ma'am?" She said, "Well, can you find somebody else for me?" And I said, she said, "But he's got to be good looking. He's got to be." I said, "Well, thank you."
How she picking? She an old ass.
I mean, old Bree. And I said, "Well, honestly, I know somebody. He owns Legacy Internet Radio, and
Great. That's how you write a joke, bro.
no, but that's a true story. That's a true story.
Hey, look, I hope that last part wasn't part of the true story.
That's a joke. That's a joke. But true story, man. You just don't know what people are doing when they're in their bedroom.
Man, that was
Yeah.
crazy.
Even an older couple, right?
What DD thing?
Yeah, I want to hear what Dee Dee thinks too.
I say to each his own. Me personally, probably wouldn't work.
Hold on. What's that
Especially-
chuckle for?
It probably wouldn't work. Yeah, I'm not for.
I like to say.
You don't like
I like
sharing.
to say I could. Be,
At some
I like to say
point-
I like to be the only sword in the building.
Not that. It's just at some point, yeah, I'm either gonna not like sharing anymore,
Right.
or I'm gonna make a choice. We won't all be a couple anymore, or
A
Trio.
trouble.
And it doesn't have to be all together either. I mean, open relationship
no,
can
it's
be,
be-
You're right, seeing somebody else.
Yeah.
My thing is, if it's all that, then why are we in a relationship? Why not just,
just be friends
yeah,
or
we
whatever.
can just say we kicking it, or
I think
and
that's-
not make it exclusive.
Yeah.
For me, it's taking the exclusivity out of the whole point behind being in a relationship, a committed relationship. Let me say that now. maybe every now and again doing something. Yeah, it's possible, but
You mean
that's
like
just
a hall pass or just going on a prowl?
if you got to go on the prowl.
But you take it later. You go on the prowl. You let us.
I don't
do
know.
that together.
Like
Yeah,
I
you go
said,
do that together.
yeah, I couldn't do that long term
That's
either.
a COVID contract.
I'd stop wanting to share, or I'd make a decision and I'd make a
Too
choice
selfish.
as to who I want.
You know,
yeah, I
yeah,
am.
you selfish.
I am. I'm not gonna lie about it. I
Ain't
am.
nothing wrong
Very.
with it.
And once you open that Pandora's box, I mean, the guy's gonna want to probably continue that.
And you
not
know
that
what?
Even when
you're
That's
saying-
fine, but
Hey,
most
Mike,
it out.
I'm not that
men,
greedy. I'm happy just with that.
most
Whatever,
men
Grizzly.
aren't
I'm
willing.
not gonna push the
You
ledge.
silly. Most men aren't willing to indulge the female as far as having another man in a relationship. Y'all, you talk that, but you're
that's
not
why I
really
had to
about
flip
that
it.
life.
That's why I said it.
You're
It
not
takes
really
a
about that
love.
life.
You really
Right.
it's something physically that you can't like.
Now
It
that's
takes
different.
a real love. Like
That's
you know what I mean?
different. That's a different situation. But to just say, "Hey, we got an open relationship," just because,
I
What
got
if
you.
they just freaks and they like to get it?
now that's
But
different.
how
If
long
they're
is that
freaks,
gonna
that's
last?
fine. But at some point, again, somebody's either gonna stop wanting to
Somebody
share.
freaking is gonna go away.
That too. What if they're like,
Eventually.
I don't want to do this no more,
Right.
or
I can dig it.
you getting a little too freaky with such and such.
See, I disagree with people that have buyer's remorse once they getting piped up too much.
Really?
Yeah, like don't get mad once we start the piping, and the pipe is getting better. You thinking the piping is better with this one than the other one? Don't be mad because you allowed it to happen. You can't have buyer's remorse once you cross the Rubicon.
As
it's
I
done.
just said,
Yeah,
most
and
dudes
that's
can't
the
handle it.
And
It's always
tension,
Once the
too.
going
feelings
to
start
be
coming in.
a man bringing a woman in. That's always the
I agree.
inference in
I ain't
those
gonna lie.
situations.
I ain't gonna lie. It'd be a hard pill to swallow.
Yes. If
he
your
was
wife
piping,
said, "Look,"
if he was piping her down
and she
better
was
than me,
loving
I'd be
it.
like, hold on,
Exactly.
bro, hold up.
Exactly.
But
Hold
not
up.
just sex though, attention
Hit my
also.
music.
Like
Yeah.
if that
Yeah.
person's
But-
spending too much time with
That
the other
could- yeah.
person.
I mean, like, all right. I guess it's a little bit of my personal belief bleeding into this statement, but if I'm married, that commitment level is not. I'm not going to be too. I'm going to be very secure in that commitment level that my spouse is not going to fall in emotional. She's going to be cheating
In
on
love.
me. The emotion. She's going to be that. If we've been, especially if it's over, say, 15, 20 years. I would hope to believe that in 15 to 20 years, that bond is pretty much unbreakable. If it's a new,
Listen.
within that 7-year itch period,
Women,
pardon the pun.
women stay in relationships longer than men just because,
Yeah.
I've been here all this time. Oh well.
I mean, but guys do. I mean, men do the same.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah.
Men
I'm
do
just
the
saying.
same, but I'm just saying, like, I wouldn't be too concerned about you cheating emotionally. As a guy, I wouldn't. Nah, you're not going nowhere because you're my woman. But if he piping you up, and I can't pipe you up like he piping you up, that's
Don't
a problem.
listen. Buyer's remorse.
That's
Don't get
serious.
mad
I might have
because
to
you
buy an
invited
attachment,
this, you
like
let
a
this
vacuum.
happen.
You put the attachment on the vacuum. Well, I might be popping some pills or something so I can keep up. Cause that's so. I agree with you on that, Didi. Like, yeah,
It's,
men are
it's
not
basically
gonna be the same.
insecurity. You know what I mean? You gotta
Yeah.
learn you gotta know more about yourself before you even get yourself in that situation.
Or you could recruit a dude that's got a smaller Peter Weeder than
Then
you. So
you're
the
not
point?
then you're not
Then you ain't really-
threatened,
That's
right?
immature.
Very. That's insecure.
Yeah,
as well.
yeah. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's the whole thing. Is more
I guess
about.
I'm insecure because he ain't coming in there with more meat than me.
Okay.
Well, no. I mean,
Coming in there with more meat than
I
me.
mean, it's that's what it all comes down to, man. It's just more or less learning about yourself, and if you feel like you can put yourself in that predicament and you can do it, then you're gonna find out if you can and you can't.
And you know
Sure
like
will.
your partner's like face when you hit that spot and you hitting it and she ain't make that face, but when he hitting it, she making all the faces.
All kinds of
like,
faces.
No, this
She, hey man, she
And
can be
then-
doing that just to mess
Now
with
it's
you.
over.
She can be doing that just to
I
mess
need a
with
check.
you.
I need a check from you. If you gonna be doing all this, I need to pay
Now
that
it's
mortgage
over.
payment, bro.
He gonna turn the camera
You
off
call
there.
me selfish.
I won't, if you don't mind, I want T. Carter to put his spin on it because, like I
Yes,
said, he was
I
a
wanna
teacher
hear.
of mine, and he gonna go spiritual a little bit. He taught me something necessarily when it comes to sex, also.
I mean, if you're going to have an open relationship, you have to understand why are the two people together?
That's
And
what I
that has to
said.
be the central point before you can have something that's open. Once you're strong, then that person has to come in not just based off of sexual needs, but what is it going to bring to the family? And if you can expand their family, then you can do something like that. But it has to be something that's bigger than all of you put together.
What you can bring to the
What you
equation.
can bring to the table.
Yeah, what you
Right.
bring
That's
to the
real.
table.
Everybody has to
polyamory.
benefit.
What is that? Is that polyamory?
But no, that's what I was
Polygamy?
speaking about earlier. Like
Polygyny?
that was the whole purpose of when they had more than the traditional marriage, where it's a husband and a wife. But there were times where it was a husband, a wife, a midwife, auntie, or somebody. And I'm not,
Right.
but you brought something to the table so that you had a value and a worth. It wasn't just a physical, sexual thing. I mean, you got to think about it. Like if you living for life. So let's say you married, and let's say the average marriage, say in the Middle Ages, was 30 years, because you'd be lucky to see 40, or 50, and you have this nucleus of a family. Everybody had to play a certain role, and it would just be natural to think that, especially as a man, you think that William Shakespeare or somebody ain't have a Woody for another woman because he was married or something. Like,
I mean,
there's just a natural progression that I would think would happen.
what do you think Marilyn Monroe was?
Oh, she was passed around a lot, though.
Yeah, but at the same time, she was that
spirit.
Yeah, she had. What I'm saying, she was. They had feelings for her, but at the same time, she couldn't be what she wanted to be. But Jackie was the face, and that sometimes that's what it is.
True.
But when I was talking with T. Carter, like, we spiritual, we know the world is starting to change. There's a lot of people who are doing this, and they, you know what I mean. And it's like their situation is better. Like that person could be, when they having a serious argument, be in the middle and help them talk. Yeah. Like it's more than just physical. It's more than physical. But it's really, I'm saying it's really starting to go that way.
Yeah.
It's
It's
really,
almost unnatural for you to be with one person.
No,
Like,
I saw
it's like a story.
I'm not going to put the person out there, but I spoke to somebody, and I don't want to speak to them, but they pretty much said that they had 2 boyfriends. And I was like, yo, and she bad. To me, she was bad, so I'm like, yo, how he let that go down? And she was just like, that's how it worked. And they, it's okay, and I will say that they are millennials or younger than what I am, but that's an arrangement that they have. They all agree upon, and it work out for them. I ain't mad at that. I honestly was a little bit jealous.
That's what matters.
Right.
Like,
I seen that growing up, man.
Word.
I remember, matter of fact, there was a story that Holly Berry did on Jay Leno, and it was Holly Berry was on Jay Leno, and she spoke when she was in Cleveland. It was 4 other girls, and it was a holiday, and they were sitting there waiting for the guy to pick what he was going to, which one he was going to do, spend that holiday with.
Holly Berry was one.
Holly Berry was one. You can look on YouTube, look up Jay Leno and watch it. And I sat there, but then later on, I've heard the story through like my uncles. You know what I'm saying? So like I'm saying, it's the world is changing. A lot of people doing it, and some are males and some are females.
See, I would think that it would have to. This is my old school Cro-Magnon, Dragon Knuckles kind of thing. Like if I had I would think if I had like paper, I had that. If I had that, like Muslims believe that they can have multiple wives as long as you can, take care
Support
of them.
them.
So
Care,
I would
yeah.
think that if you up there in that tax bracket, you can afford to, say, hey, this is the way it's gonna be. If you want to get put on to some of this paper, this is where I'm gonna be with you Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, like a school schedule, and Tuesday and Thursday, I'm blowing her back out. The other Jones. So I say stuff for effect, y'all. Y'all know that.
All right.
It's a fact. Y'all look, but when I said it, you thought about getting your back blown out.
Marcus J., I'd like to know what
Tuesdays
you
and
think.
I mean,
Yeah.
it really does depend. The one thing that I do agree with, I agree with Grizzy when he said it really does it depends on the couple and how they are, and the reality is, everybody wants to make things physical, but if you've checked out physically, then it doesn't matter anymore, because mentally, the one that has your mind and the one that has your heart is the one that you're with.
Yep.
And it doesn't matter, what the government paper that you sign says. it doesn't matter. You know, what matters is where your mind and where your heart is. So, I mean, it really does depend, you know.
Even physical.
I mean, the reality is, man, if you really, and I keep it completely 100, man. I'm going to keep it completely 100, man. If you really into a person, this is not even determined by your gender. But if you really into somebody, it doesn't even matter about the physical stuff.
Exactly.
Because the physical
Right.
stuff is gonna work itself out.
Hopefully.
It's gonna work itself out. It's gonna work itself. It's gonna work itself out. You know, it's like, oh, he was too small, or oh, she was not wet enough. Like
They'll work it out.
all of those kinds of things can if you really into somebody, then that physical stuff can get worked out.
Very much so.
But if you are mentally not there, then it doesn't
Yeah,
matter.
the physical is not enough.
Then it doesn't matter, because it doesn't matter what the physical is. You know, you can blow her back out, or she can give you the best head that you ever had in your life, or whatever, you know, sexual analogy that we can make to all of this. Like, none of that shit will matter if you're not mentally there. And this is something that you learn as you get older. You know, young folk might not understand this, because young folks too busy just trying to learn their body. You just learn your body, and you just, like Eddie Murphy said, you're just excited that you're even doing it. You're like, oh, she's giving me some, oh shit. You're like, whoa, it's wet. Yeah, okay. You know what I mean? Like, all of that aside, like, once you get to the point where you get past the physical gratification, because for real, and crass statement coming, but
You want me to say it?
no,
Okay.
please. I like my crass better than your crass.
Gotcha.
But the reality is, most folks have figured out how to make themselves happy.
Yes.
Most folks have figured that
Don't
out.
speak so soon.
You know what I mean? You saw her face when she said,
Yes.
Yeah, don't speak so soon.
Oh, yes. Yeah, but most folks have figured that out.
Putting brothers out of business.
You know what I
Just
mean?
saying.
And so if you, to the point where that's like what you doing,
It's a B to a A.
nah, ain't no B. You getting a D right now. we doing this, you know, this.
Are you talking about the dude or the other partner?
The other part.
Yeah, if the one you know, some people just don't have anybody though, and
That's true.
like you said, the mental thing. If I'm not into you mentally, I don't care what.
I'm be
sex
honest
is
with you,
like.
man.
I'll hit you up when I want it, but-
But see, the mental
Right.
to me,
Be mechanical.
for me, the mental is the most important part.
Yes.
It doesn't. Maybe that's just a 43-year-old me talking, but mentally, if you don't have my mind, then you know, like, you need to be looking during the daytime with a flashlight, like, for real.
See, the mental could get you caught up, though.
No, but see, the physical, and then
The physical, I'm saying outside of the
this is the
physical.
realest thing that I'm gonna say as a guy. And ladies, I cannot speak to you. I'm talking to the guys in the room right now, right?
Word.
But the reality is, as a guy, you can get that nut.
I already said it.
You
We 100% success rate, baby.
You can get it. No, I'm not saying this in a crass way. I'm gonna need you to come back here with me for a minute.
All right.
You can get that nut. You can. But who you getting that nut with? You know what I'm saying? Like, if you are not mentally connected to who you getting that nut with, then you might as well get that nut on your own. Because you can.
It's the same thing.
That's
Yeah, basically.
my-
It's
Oh,
not
All
the
right,
same
okay,
thing.
Diddy,
I'm not a man, but
see,
that's
but
my
listen,
thing.
but listen what I'm saying. But listen what I'm saying. It's
People
not
out of business.
But listen to what I'm saying. But listen to what I'm saying.
I get it.
Let's be grown-ups for a second.
I get
like,
it.
seriously.
I completely
It's
get it.
not the same. It's not the same. Because after a while, it's like, all right, I mean, okay.
You're going through the motions.
Yeah. But when you get to a point where you like, you thinking, like your mind is stimulated. But they talk about how you thinking, about,
You're in the tantric world at this point.
I
There's
mean,
a
what's the
difference.
Kama Sutra and all of that kind of
Oh,
stuff.
yeah,
You
you
know what I mean?
going
Because
there.
what they say, sex is like 90% mental and 10% physical.
You right about that.
Yeah.
Sometimes I just can't.
See, here we go.
Let's not talk
be
about
like,
you,
yo,
Jones.
let's seriously, let's keep it on the.
I'm serious.
Yeah.
I'm being serious. Like, you just have, if you can't get your mind to that space,
Exactly.
you're not. It doesn't matter.
And then see, women have always had the market cornered on mentally having sex. Like, we know that they cannot physically get themselves together unless they're mentally there. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, and again, at the risk of really getting kind of crazy with it, like, you can't get yourself physically ready. Physically, people, we know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Physically ready
If I'm not mentally,
if you're not mentally
If I'm
there.
not
So if the
there.
right pipe don't come along,
No,
you can't go there.
no.
it's not even that.
See,
Period.
he's trying to take me to the. I'm not
Oh, he's
going
trying to
there.
take you.
I'm trying to
he's not
take
bothering
I'm
me.
everybody.
not going
I'm trying
there. We're
to
not-
keep it real.
Let me keep it real for you.
We're not going
It
there.
doesn't matter how big you are, how long you can go. If I'm not feeling you, that's not going to matter to me. None of it's going to matter to me. I don't care
Please get
if
that.
you got the porn site thing working for you. You know what I'm saying?
Please.
If I'm not feeling you mentally, yeah,
That's
it's
right.
nice. You know,
Tori,
I'm sure
please.
somebody would want to have it. So,
Give
but
me a
not
dumb, give me a dumb pretty chick any day. That's just
Dumb
me.
I
pretty
wouldn't say
chick.
dumb.
I
But
say
you know,
dumb.
but see the reality.
But you at least
But
like
see,
her, right?
Aren't you getting to the point? Like, I would think that you would get to the point in your life, and I can't speak for you,
Right,
but I'm
right.
just saying,
I'm
I would think that you would get to your point in your life where, in your 40s, now I'm going to be crass. You done had a lot of ass.
For sure.
You've had a lot of ass.
But
in your
I want
life.
more.
No,
I'm
no, no,
greedy.
no. Let me finish. Let me finish. You've had a lot of ass
True.
in your life.
True.
So at some point, isn't it enough to say, you know what? I done had the pretty dumb chick, because really all the pretty dumb chick is a nut. That's it. That's
I like
all you
that.
getting.
I like that.
Okay, well, if that's what you like, then
Whoa,
cool.
whoa, whoa.
But that's not how grown-ups do it.
Well,
I'm
you know
not
what?
grown yet.
Let me say this. Yeah, mentally, he's probably not, but
Right, I ain't there.
and it could be being married for such a long time. That mental thing isn't there anymore. You don't need that anymore. This is
good.
just me and things that I've heard from married men, where you've been with somebody for the longest time. It's like you're just doing it.
I need that rock
If-
'em, sock 'em.
And
Well, you
there
have-
are men out here who just,
That's all I need.
if the opportunity presents itself, that's all they want,
I
and they're
cut-
happy with that.
I cut on some Erykah Badu and get mental, but
And here's one of them.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, you can use your imagination, you know.
imagination.
but
You know what I'm
some
saying?
don't.
I did that
Some
when I
do.
was
might
12.
not be
I-
into
all
that.
my
You know what, though? See,
imagination
here's
was
the
done
other thing,
between
right?
12
And
Some
and
now,
13.
here's the other elephant in the room. If you only so focused on getting your nut, that's all you're going to get is your nut.
right.
And your nut's going to come really, really quick.
Very, and it's
Yeah.
like, look,
You know what I'm saying?
That's the point.
So let's put it out there. So let's
let
put
me-
it out there.
but-
put his ass on blast.
Hold up. I'm not finished. I'm
In
not
this
finished.
day and age of social
I'm
media,
not
that's when you
finished.
start
Let Mark
taking
get in
pictures.
and then
Look,
come
look at
back.
this
Hold
one.
up.
Put him on blast.
I'm not finished. I'm not finished. So if you are so concerned about yourself, and if we talk about just pure physical,
True.
then you're gonna get. I don't know if anybody watched Insecure last night,
I did.
but if you watched Insecure last night, then you saw how Lawrence acted
he got it.
quick, and that was it.
And that was done. He had his business.
But that doesn't benefit anybody.
Nope.
It don't benefit.
No,
It doesn't benefit anybody. You know why it don't benefit anybody? Because if you're
It serves a purpose.
someone whose
Why is it that is?
whose only purpose in that moment is ejaculation, then you've
Why not do it
completely-
yourself?
Then
No.
then you've completely missed the whole point of physically being with somebody, because you can do that yourself.
But again,
I need a chick. I
I'm
can't do it by myself.
I'm trying to explain what he is. It's just the opportunity. The opportunity presents itself.
I'm just not built that way.
He is one, and most
Bing.
of us at this age in our life aren't. But like I said,
What are
again,
y'all looking for? I mean, when I say that, I say, what? All right.
I'm not wasting- I'm not gonna waste-
Let me get a couple of comments in
Please.
real quick.
All right.
we haven't even got
Let me
to
get
the
it. Let me
second
get a couple
question yet.
comments.
Nope, we're still on number one.
804-402-2893 is the number to call if you want to be a part of the discussion, verbal discussion. Terry says that she agrees with me. Once a person is not mentally there, it's a wrap. If there is a mental checkout, the physical is right behind.
Yep.
Hakeem agrees with me. The physical is superficial. Laurel says it's energy exchange, really important to know who you
I
are
agree
sharing
with that.
your auric energy with. I mean,
I agree
That's-
with that.
that's how I
But
feel.
all my
Didi-
energy is to
Relief.
Yeah, relief. And so
You trying to bust a nut? I respect
that's it,
that.
and that has
its place. It absolutely has its place.
So unless you, and to break it down to the level that I'm thinking, unless you're trying to procreate or trying to get to know somebody on that other level, then it's a physical act. You're not trying to, unless you're trying to go there with that person. I mean, like y'all act like y'all ain't never hooked up and it want the best hookup that you ever had.
Yeah, what they call it, the last 40 minutes at the bar.
Yeah, like everybody.
And that's what I feel like you talking about. But,
Yeah.
but I'm telling you,
I don't
the
do
last
that,
40 minutes
so.
of the bar where you just looking around to see who, and she looking around too, who could she hook up with. I can understand that. You know what I mean? Just trying to hook up with them, bust, blah, blah, blah. But what we saying is, it's just something else. Like you saying that right where you at right now, that's just all you want to do is just bust?
I mean,
no, I'm
it's the nature, though.
I'm speaking.
I'd rather not bust.
That's what I'm saying.
I'd rather not bust.
So
Yeah, I got you.
I'm speaking of when there was a point in my life before I got married where I was just like, I ain't trying to fucking.
But you're not there right. You're not there
talking about
anymore.
right now. Yeah,
we're
that's
talking
what you're
about
talking
now.
Yeah.
You're not there anymore. That's different. You
Yes,
had
yes,
that.
he is. He's still there.
Yeah, because you know what? You probably is.
I'm still there.
He's still there.
Bang bang.
To each his own. To each his
Ain't
own.
nobody trying to make no more babies.
All right,
Trying to get it in.
let's move on. That was a great discussion. It really was. All right.
Shout out to your coworker that brought it up.
Yeah, he gave me some good stuff to
Oh,
work
was it
with.
he? I
'Cause
thought it was a she.
no, it was a man, co-worker. I said, give me some ideas because, I've been doing this for a long time and, I want to keep it fresh for y'all. All right, so this one is if you and your mate follow different faiths or religions, can you make it work? If so, how can you make it work? You're shaking your head, Jake Rizzi. Why?
No, faith is a very personal. It goes to speak to who you are, and you can. Unless you're a persuasive advocate for your faith, and if you are, your business should not be trying to convert. Some people try to convert. With me, I'm not trying to convert somebody to something that I believe in that I know is wholeheartedly true to me. So in my opinion, no, it can't work.
Okay.
You got to be in that same lane. Otherwise, there's going to be some point of conflict that's going to come up along the lines, and you're going to have a moment of truth, and it's like, well, I can give you a personal story. Like I said something, and my spouse was like, "So you saying you don't believe in Jesus?" I'm just like, no, I believe in. I'm just saying, like, he was a man. We went there. We had that conversation, and it took a minute for us to get to a place where we could say, we agree to disagree. But I could see if I was a staunch person, I could see how that could cause some problems. So no, I don't think people. You shouldn't be in the business of trying to convert anybody to your faith or your belief. So you should come in and work that out together.
So can you coexist with two different religions?
I don't think so.
And you do your thing, she
pillars
does her
to
thing.
Religion is such a dogma to each religion. Like I just can't see how a Christian and a Muslim, or a Muslim and a Jew, or a Buddhist and a Jew, or Buddha. I just can't see how, if you're a follower and a part of that faith, and you believe in those certain pillars, how you could just give that up to, or concede that to be with somebody. Then you're not a true believer.
I think it varies from couple to couple, person to person. One of my oldest friends, and I mentioned this person earlier in the show when I was talking to Didi about how I can support your son when he takes his trek. So I say that to you directly. The person who I am expecting to help me take care of you and your son is someone who grew up in a household that had a Muslim father and a Christian mother. Now, I'm one who spent a lot of time in that household when I was young, and I never, ever once saw any kind of dissension. All I ever saw in that household was the same kind of love and support that I saw in my household that was led by two Christians. Now, two Christians raised a child who has
Non-Christian
kind of
beliefs.
a rolled tongue and a rock eye towards religion. That's me. My parents are Christian people, and I look at religion like, really? I can't understand why you would want any part of it. That's just me. And so I'm one who completely disagrees with my brother Grizzy, because you have to decide the things in your relationship and the things in your life that are important. There are some people where your religion is not important enough to be the reason why you're not rocking, And for me, I'm one of those people. I could rock with a Christian. I could rock with an atheist. I could rock with a 5%er. I could rock with a Israelite. I could rock with whomever.
Can you be married to them?
As long as when I say rock with them, that's what I mean.
Okay.
And as long as they respect my decision to not rock with them on that.
So that's
Well,
my point.
And that's more on them than it is on me.
Right. So that's to the point that I was saying. Like, let's use a Hindu. A Hindu believes in reincarnation, and you might not believe have a particular opinion about reincarnation. So when you die, they gonna say, "Well, we're not gonna give you a traditional whatever."
Well, here's the thing with that, though.
You be dead.
Here's the thing with that, though. Anybody know anybody that died and came back?
No.
Does anybody know for sure what Jesus was like?
No.
Let me finish.
Okay.
Because we talk all this Jesus stuff, but Jesus was a dude who had a wife who nobody wants to acknowledge. He was smashing Mary Magdalene. But when you say that, you get Christians that get all funny acting behind it.
That's a dog.
But see, people like me, I don't care about that.
Okay.
I really don't. I don't care about that. So are you going to be somebody who can rock with somebody? And if you can't,
Then
then
No,
there you
that's
go.
That's what I'm saying. Like, you
If
can't,
you can't.
it can't go that way.
But I
Only-
think that some folks can do it.
some people can.
I think some folks can do it.
The person that can do it is deferring to the person who has
Not
that faith.
necessarily. Not necessarily,
That's not-
because I think
yeah.
ultimately what you're going to
So
do
then
is
a person that has that faith or belief is not a true believer.
No,
because
I
they don't-
totally disagree
Wait a
with
minute,
that.
I have
hold
a
on.
question,
Hold on,
Marcus.
hold on.
I have a question for Marcus
Go
J.
ahead.
Because agnostic is, I guess, more neutral or not really as firm, like this is what I believe and it has to be like.
There's different versions of agnosticism. With me, I'm one person who acknowledges that everybody around me has their way of spirituality and religion, all of that kind of stuff. And what's good for you is great for you. Don't try to bring that to me, because if you try to bring it to me, I'm going to speak to you in a way that may make you uncomfortable.
Right.
And
So
if that makes you uncomfortable, that's what? A you problem.
you problem.
Ain't no hashtag with Marcus J. Live from the Den. Legacy Internet Radio. We're getting a caller. Caller, what's your name? What you want to get in on?
Hey, Marcus. How you doing? It's Laurel.
Hey, what's up, Laurel? How you doing, sis?
I'm good. I think a lot of the problems are actually between the family. Sometimes it has nothing to do with the couple.
Okay. Yeah, that makes
I
sense.
mean, I remember my brother married my sister-in-law. I mean, it was a big deal. She was Catholic and we were Jewish, and like, how were they going to raise the kids? It's nobody's business.
Yeah.
They raise the kids the way they need to raise the kids.
Yeah.
The big joke when I was growing up, because we had a lot of interfaith couples on the block. The big joke for us is, the kid, if they were raising the kids Catholic, that the kids were going to grow up and marry somebody Jewish, because that's how we were going to get back at them.
Right.
So that's,
Well, let me ask you this,
Oh, I
right?
bet you she marries a Jew, or whatever. But that's the thing that people used to say. But really and truly, it's nobody's business. And actually, I found out that Jewish people believe in incarnation too. So you could be a Hindu.
See, people like me, right? Honestly, one of the things that I fall back on, one of my favorite episodes of one of my favorite TV shows, All in the Family, Archie Bunker show, was when Mike and Gloria got married. Mike was a Protestant, I think he was Jewish or something like that. Oh no, he was an atheist.
He was an atheist.
He was an atheist, and Gloria, of course, was Protestant Christian person. And they were very specific about who was going to marry them, and they ended up being married by a rabbi. And neither one of them was Jewish. And I'm one of those people. When I look at spirituality, Laurel, I want you to answer this. I'm one of those people. When you look at spirituality and when you look at religion, is it not more important that a person adheres to the natural laws of life with regards to how you treat people as opposed to specific rules and regulations to a certain religion? Is it not more important that you're not an asshole? Because there are a lot of Jewish people and a lot of Christian people who are really cool people, but there are a lot of Jewish people and a lot of Christian people that are assholes. So if you get a Jewish person who's not an asshole and a Christian person who's not an asshole, who basically adheres to the natural law of just be nice to people and don't do dumb shit to them, isn't that really what we should be striving towards, honestly?
I mean, absolutely. We were talking today actually at work. My grandmother's sisters were like the meanest people in the universe.
I like her already.
And how they used to treat other people, it really turned me off. I mean, this is what turned me off to religion, to my own religion, was watching family members and family members of family members talk about everybody else, and some of it racist. It had to do with class. It had to be who was rich and who wasn't, and that included my own people. It was such a turnoff to me how, unhumanitarian that talk was. And I'm like, if this is what the religion is, I don't want it. And, I'm like what am I? I call myself free range. I'm like free range eggs or something. I adhere to all the good things about everything. Mm-hmm. But I would rather be a decent human being, and it's how you treat another person, than say I'm following something to the absolute letter.
Yeah,
of
Amen.
I agree with that.
Religion.
Yes.
Everything has its good points. There's some beautiful things in Judaism, beautiful things in Christianity, but then people interpret it, and however they interpret it, and it can go like way out of hand. Just be a good person. Be a really good person. Do unto others. How do you want to be treated? Everybody, what was that thing that I posted yesterday? This little kid goes and he says to his mother, "I'm going to go have share a Twinkie with God."
Yeah.
I don't know if you got a chance to watch that. It was a really cool thing.
The reality is, Laurel, people are stupid, and if people took the time to actually follow the prophet that they claim to follow, then they would be better people. The reality is, Jesus was a Jewish man who was the foundation of a whole religion called Christianity. So if Jewish people and Christians actually tried to be Christ-like instead of Christians and Jewish people, everybody would get along so much better. And that's just that's the way I feel about it.
The food is great.
Say again?
And the food is great. I mean, the Italian Catholics, the Jews. I mean, I lived in a neighborhood. The food was great. I'm just kidding.
This coming from my sister, the chef. Absolutely. Thank you for rocking with us. We appreciate you. Keep listening, okay?
I am.
You got it. Ain't no half step with Marcus J. Live from the Den, Legacy Internet Radio.
Opinions.
Diva, give us one more. Give us one more.
Well, I didn't get everybody in the room.
Oh, okay. Well, we getting close on time. Yeah, we getting close on time.
Okay, we're
So,
moving on. Okay.
yeah, we getting close on time. So give me one more.
Grizzly gonna
see
get
what I
some
got.
tonight.
I don't think he is after them comments earlier.
Yeah, he gonna be hanging
She don't
out.
listen. I'm getting
All right.
some.
What's her number?
Pinky and her 4 friends.
This one is kind of relevant to what's in the news or what's going on, what's trendy right now. Okay, it's from my dating pool blog book. What would you do if you were dating a special someone for, let's say, 3 years? He or she is everything you have been looking for, and you find out after mutual testing that he or she has been diagnosed with HIV or herpes. What if you were engaged to be married? Okay, so who has an opinion about this?
You find out at the last minute,
You find out.
I'm good. I gotta go to the bathroom.
right?
Wait.
That's a timing question.
Wait a minute.
Well, it doesn't really have a time. You've been together for 3 years, but it doesn't really have a time.
Some
you do
stuff
mutual
missing.
testing?
Yeah, there's some things missing from this in order for me to answer that. Number one, as much as I go to the doctor and get checked for anything,
She got a clean. I'm not going.
that's something I would have known
off top.
way
before.
the night before the wedding or whatever it is.
No.
Before the results came back.
No, you're having mutual testing, right? Okay.
Oh, okay.
But
and
you're
you
engaged to
find-
be married. It doesn't say when you're going to get married or whatever.
That's something you supposed to get off for. You even
Yeah,
have
I
sex.
can't.
That's why the relationship's about to end because
Yeah.
trust is out the
No,
door.
it's not about to end. It's for me. It's going to end for the simple fact that
Supposed to have the papers with you.
I'm just finding this out. You didn't. But well, let me say this: everybody doesn't get tested either
True.
on a regular basis. That's why you're supposed to get that information ahead of time.
Off top.
Yeah. Look. What's your medical record before we do anything?
And sometimes
without
things don't
clothes
show
on?
up right away either.
Yeah,
Yeah,
HIV
you
is not
you
a
supposed to
immediate
go,
thing.
You're supposed to do it like on the regular though. Like
Yeah,
this.
but if you've been getting tested, if you in your 40s, damn it, and you've been getting tested every year,
well, that's assuming
you
if
should have
single.
found that out,
Yeah.
which means if it's just now popping up, you've had sex with somebody recently, which is highly possible. But yeah, I get tested every year. Want that shit? I need to see.
Let's say
Y'all-
you
y'all
were
holler-
protected.
y'all holler at Didi, she
You could
clean.
be using condoms at all times.
Don't holler at me. Yeah, you can holler
If you
all
clean
day
too,
long.
but
You stupid.
But if
Keep it
mentally,
gangster,
if
baby.
it's not there, I don't give a shit.
yeah, y'all got to get to the brain cells first. Like,
But let's
Yeah,
say you've been protected all this time.
I mean,
That means, again, for me, let me say this. He hasn't been getting tested on a regular basis. And again, for me, that's something I would have found out way in the beginning of the relationship. Do you get tested on a regular basis?
yeah, that's something you supposed to get like before you even become intimate with
Yeah,
that person.
I can't.
That's
I
a
can't do it.
conversation.
And that's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
Like,
let me
that's
let me
what
get
I'm
wanna-
let me get a
before
couple
you
of
even
comments in. Let
Got
me-
intimate. You supposed to. That person's supposed to tell you anyway, especially if they positive.
And if they don't,
Yeah.
yeah,
And then they
over.
don't.
Yeah, let me
Like
get
I hope they got money. 'cause
Shout
I'm
out to
suing
Usher.
the whole
Exactly.
time.
We going to court.
Let me get a couple of comments in. Some of these are a little bit old, so bear with me. 804-402-2893. Terry said there's a difference between physical and emotional. Mental is emotion. Laurel disagrees. She called, obviously, but this comment was before she called in. She disagreed with you, Grizz. She knows a lot of folks who are intermarried, and it works. Terry says, again, her and her mate practice different religions. They have enough respect for each other to agree to disagree. Often find themselves looking at the similarities between the two more than differences. I agree with that. Terry also says there are saints and there are ain'ts. She's more spiritual. So I wanted to get those in there. I'll just say this on we found out later on about the medical history. Medical history is different when it can be transmitted. You know what I'm saying? And I think we all get caught up in oh man, I wouldn't do this, or I wouldn't do that, or I would leave, I would do this. But I think that we underestimate the power of love and a connection to a person. It's very easy to sit there and say, "Oh, I'm out," and I'm not saying that I wouldn't say that. I'm not saying I'm not.
Okay, I'm glad you put that out there.
But see, I'm not saying that I wouldn't say that. I'm not saying that I would say that. But I know what the pull of a connection feels like, and I also know that pull of connection is very, very strong, and that person being ill is also very strong. And I can't say with 100% certainty what I would do because I've never been put in that position. So it's easy in a lot of these hypothetical discussions to say, "Oh, I would do this definitively." You probably would. No disrespect to anybody. You probably would. But once you are presented with said situation, that's
You don't
when
know.
that's when the decision really matters. In these hypothetical discussions, it don't matter.
Unless you,
In that moment, after you spent 3 years loving on them and being
Literally.
with them and going to do certain things, and you got your favorite thing that you like to do, and your favorite song that you like to listen to, and you got the thing that you laugh about, you know what I'm saying, that nobody else understands, and you got your connect, you got all that going on, and then when you go to the doctor together, you know what I'm saying, and then you find out that maybe it's you.
it's the moment.
It's
of
not
truth,
necessarily them. Maybe it's you,
Moment of
the one that's not ideal with health wise. You know what I'm saying? Like, how would you feel if you got dropped?
Right.
You just have to.
And you could have been
responsibility.
innocent.
It's more,
you didn't know.
And they say, we can, we're not going to talk about the singer. Trust me, I don't want to talk about him. So trust me, we're not talking about him. We're not talking about him. But if you've done your homework, you know that particular singer in this situation, not speaking to whether he's been forthright or whatever, but the health problem that he has is a health problem that most people who have it don't even know. Don't even know. So again, I'm not saying this because I want to talk about him. So please, we're not going there. I just felt like that was a point that I needed to make plain, because when you go and you get those dual checks, and of course you skipping in there happy as hell because you know that you about to get it in with no restrictions, and then you find out that you the reason.
Right. So
that you can't. You know what I'm saying?
I see what you're saying, and I think it's a
that's a classic devil's advocate right
You're
there.
right. You're
I
right.
think it's a responsibility
You're right.
issue when you are with somebody for 3 years. Like, that's at some point in that 3 years, a conversation should have been had, for honest and forthright,
Yes.
about that. And
It's
before-
easy to judge. But
not-
did you?
I'm
But
judging.
I'm
I'm
not going to ask
I'm
you. I'm not
judging,
going to put
so-
you on the spot. All I'm going to do is think about it, listeners and viewers on Facebook Live. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not putting nobody on the spot. And so if you speak after I say what I'm going to say, this is completely on you. Completely on you.
I'll just speak.
But we know as grown-ups you're supposed to have that conversation, and we also know as grown-ups we don't always do what we're
You're
supposed
right.
to do.
You're right. Exactly
And so
right.
if you've not had that conversation and you were indulging in adult behavior, and then eventually when you do go and say, you know what, now's the time, let's go get this done together, and then you find out that it's you,
Right.
and you like, oh shit, the first thing in your mind is, I hope I didn't get him or her sick. That's the first thing. But the second thing is like, oh shit, it's me.
You're right. Yeah.
Then you start going through the Rolodex.
You know
like,
what I'm
Right.
saying? You know, it's not even on going through the Rolodex
I
thing, because
know.
I'm not thinking like that. I'm thinking about how's that person going to feel now that it's me, and the plans that we had may be altered now because they may be feeling how you was talking a few minutes ago.
That's good, because
Put your feet in those shoes.
Yeah.
like for me, what I heard was 3 years, and from an astrology standpoint, there's a planet, it's Saturn's restriction. You know what I mean? So to me, if that question is proposed to you, it's something that you have to. It's a question proposed to you, and see how you look at yourself.
Right.
And that's going what you saying, Mark. It's like, okay, you saying that, but do you really love this person? Now you may feel deceived, but in which you probably would go off, but then the next day you've been with this person for 3 years.
And you're planning to get married.
All right, so follow me here for a second. My point is, right, and I mean, Marcus has a valid point. You also have a valid point. That just makes sense. They're valid points. What I'm saying is that if you're first, when you're with somebody, when you first start going out with somebody, you don't know if it's going to last 3 days or 3 years.
Yeah.
You know, but if I'm feeling you, and I got a positive feeling, pause on, where things are going, I'm gonna have a conversation with you. And during that conversation, then we can decide whether we, what we gonna do from there. But I'm gonna have a conversation with you.
Yeah, we all are.
So I'm not gonna let it go a year. I'm not gonna let it go 3 months.
Yeah.
It's just that I feel like this is going a certain way where I think that I want to be mutually, settled down with you and monogamous with you. So if I'm going to do that, if I'm going to give up my monogamy to be with you, I want to know where we stand. I mean, I want to know where we stand, because you're right. I might not know where I stand. So I'm taking it as a personal responsibility to be forthright and be like, look, I want to lock it down. Let's do this. But that's going to happen early. Like now to be fair, you're going to have a last call at the bar type of situation where you ain't having it. But then, again, that's a personal responsibility. You got to double bag.
Okay. All right.
You got to double bag it up.
All right. Well, thank you guys for participating in Love Revolution.
Thank you. Ain't no love in
Dating
that.
Pool Diva segment. I appreciate you guys. It was great. It was lots of fun.
That was very interesting.
Yes, it was. Yes.
I love you, honey.
Oh, now it's I love you,
All the
honey.
single ladies. She know who I is. All the single ladies. All the single ladies.
Ain't no hashtag with Marcus J. Live from the Den, Legacy Internet Radio. We're going to take a break. When we come back, we're going to have a short segment in which we're going to ask, what the hell? Couple of really quick hits we're going to get to. We got to talk about OJ getting parole. Donald Trump said something incredibly stupid today. A company is trying to put a chip in their employees, and Tennessee. A Tennessee judge is trying to take time off your jail sentence by having you do something that is very unorthodox. We got to talk about it. We're going to do that segment real quick before we get up on out of here. I'm Marcus J. He's our brother T. Carter. She's our sister Dating Pool Diva. That brother back there is Sean Love. She's Dee Dee. And he's Jake Vrizzy. I'm me. You're you. We'll be back in a few.
What's up, y'all? This is your man K-Dub, and when I'm down on 285 down in Atlanta, GA, maybe on I-64 in Newport News, Virginia, or maybe I'm in Jersey City catching that light rail headed downtown to go into NYC, I'm always plugged in to Legacy Internet Radio, listening to Ain't No Half Stepping with my man Marcus J. Check it out, y'all. Peace.